Yes, sir. I must still be good. So let me try to get into this thing. So what I want to do, first of all, I gotta give a shout out to my dude, the Black Dot. I gotta give a shout out to my dude, the Black Dot. I'm gonna be reading from his book this morning, uh, Urban Culture Decoded. A critical analysis into the physical, mental, and spiritual state of a new generation. This book right here by my brother Black Dot is a must-have. It's a must-read for anybody who is interested in or who has grown up in what they call urban culture, hip-hop culture. My brother Black Dot, I consider him to be one of the master historians, one of the master teachers, but like he says, he's not a historian, but he is a mystorian because he focuses on the metaphysical aspects of who we are and our culture and our history, and he breaks things down from a metaphysical standpoint to give us the layers of what we are actually seeing and experiencing within the culture. He demystifies and decodes some of the activities and things that we see happening within the culture. So this book right here is a must-have. It's a must-read. So definitely got to give a major shout-out to the Black Dot. Now, the reason why I want to go into this, I'm going to read one of the chapters in here. And the reason why I want to go into it today is because I'm still feeling the euphoria. I'm still high off of the epic battle that we just witnessed between Kendrick Lamar and Drizzy Drake. Yeah, I know the battle is over. Some people might be over it or whatever the case may be, but I'm not. I'm still feeling the euphoria of it all. I'm still listening to the records. I'm still breaking some of the bars down. I'm still decoding some of the bars myself, and I'm still looking at just the effect that it is having in this moment on the culture. The different conversations that have been sparked from the battle, the different conversations that are taking place on social media, and all of the different angles that people have been breaking this thing down from. And Black Dot specifically has been one of my favorites. I haven't seen a whole bunch of like full breakdowns. Of course, I see everything, you know, that comes through the timeline or whatever the case may be. But as far as really sitting and watching people's full analysis and breakdown of the battle, I've been protecting my energy from a lot of it. And so I haven't tapped into a bunch, but there have been a few people whose opinion that I value, and people whose mindset that I admire, who I have taken the time to kind of check out, you know, their take on the matter. Brother named what's his name? Something Hunt, who's a journalist. He got a YouTube channel. He does something called It's All Happening. I like the way he's been breaking things down on this joint. But the Black Dot has definitely been one of my favorites because, like I said, he demystifies things and decodes things from a different angle than anybody else. You know what I'm saying? And so I want to read from his book today, one of the chapters in his book. And let me know if I'm still good, because I'm over here running my mouth and I don't even know if my stream is good. It looks good on my end. It don't look like I froze up or anything like that. So type a number 7 in the chat if I'm still good before I start reading. The chapter is called Rap is My Savior. What page is it on? 93. The chapter is called Rap is My Savior. And I think that this is a relevant chapter to everything that we've been seeing so far when it comes to this battle and all of the conversation and commentary that has been sparked from it. So y'all let me know if I'm good. Am I good to read? Am I good to read? Can you type a number 7 in the chat and let me know if you can see me and if you can hear me right now? Appreciate y'all tuning in with me this morning. Appreciate y'all tapping in with me this morning. All right, I'm good. All right, I'm good. I'm good to go. So Rap is my savior. He says, this may be the most sensitive topic that I will cover in this entire book, but it needs to be addressed because it has this generation of artists and aspiring artists on creative lockdown. 7 out of 10 people that I know on a personal level in this day and time are rappers, aspiring to be rappers, claim to be rappers, or soon to be rappers, are old school rappers making a comeback, or are coming out of prison with a dream to become a rapper. And so I don't think I'm gonna stop too much longer. I'm just gonna read it. You know what I'm saying? I may stop here and there just to give my take on some of what I'm reading. But I do want to point out that I believe that he's using the word rap and rapper very intentionally in this chapter. I believe the title of the chapter Rap is My Savior, is very intentional, because he didn't say hip hop is my savior. He said rap is my savior. And he's not talking about, well, so far from what I just read so far, he's not mentioning MCs. He doesn't know 1,000,001 MCs. He knows 1,000,001 rappers. And so I believe he's being very intentional when he uses the word rap and rappers, right? So check it out. Everybody, and I mean everybody, is a rapper now. How is this even possible? What has taken place over the last 20 years that would give the average person the urge and desire to want to get involved with rap and get involved on a level that borders on the fence of obsession? The operative word here is average. As you will soon come to find out, it doesn't require much more than an average skill set to succeed in the rap industry. Young people in particular are willing to abandon their pursuit of education, learning a trade, or even learning the basics of music in the traditional sense to pursue rap. And I also when thinking about this chapter, I was thinking about my son. You know what I'm saying? Most of y'all know that I rap. I'm an MC as well. But I also have a son who's 20 years old now, and he's a hip-hop artist as well. And so I hope he watches this. I hope he watches this in its entirety, because this message is kind of for him, for me. You know what I'm saying? It's for anybody out there who needs to hear it, but it really is for my son specifically. And of course, I'm going to have the one-on-one conversation with him, but I wanted to do this live, like I said, for anybody else that may need to hear it. But I want to definitely send this message out to my son. So I hope you listen to this, son. You know what I mean? There's some jewels right here for you. You know I love you. You know I support you. You know what I'm saying? But we have to put everything in its full context and understand how we need to move and how we need to operate. All right? So let me read that last line again. Young people in particular are willing to abandon their pursuit of education, learning a trade, or even learning the basics of music in the traditional sense to pursue rap. Their dreams begin and end with the pursuit of a rap career in some capacity, whether it's rapping itself, producing, modeling, dancing, a radio personality, or making rap videos. For them, the ends outweigh the means and the rewards far outweigh the risk. Even sports have taken a back seat to rap because sports still require practice, dedication, and superior skills to advance. Their actions and ways of thinking are justified every time a new talentless artist emerges with a hit song fueled by a hot beat and some rudimentary rhymes that goes on to sell 1 million copies and makes them a household name. Meanwhile, parents, educators, elders keep stressing the importance of going to school to get a good education so that you can one day land a job that will pay you about $60,000 a year if you are lucky. Meditate on that for a moment. If you were a young urbanite who grew up very poor with a limited education, resources, opportunities, yet you had an opportunity to rise above these conditions without the need for a specialized skill or a degree, and could make millions of dollars traveling the world as a famous artist, what would you do? After being looked at from this perspective, I believe that the answers becomes very clear on what we are facing with this generation of youth and those who live in the urban America, and those who live in urban America in particular. Rap is their savior. However, when everybody can rap, nobody can rap. I will say that again. When everybody can rap, nobody can rap. When an art form of any sort has been overexposed, oversaturated, or exploited, it loses its power. It becomes mundane. The mere fact that everyone feels like they can do something suggests that it doesn't really require much skill at all. This is why I always differentiate between MCing and rapping. MCing requires a tremendous amount of skill, knowledge, breath control, insight, vocabulary, stamina, stage presence, etc. These attributes are not necessarily required to rap. An MC can rap, but barely can a rapper MC. Now don't get me wrong, rap has its place. I will be the first one to tell you that I enjoy a great rap record from time to time. Yet in the grand scheme of things, the rap industry does not enhance or add anything of value to our culture as a whole except money and fame. And for those who have been deprived of basic necessities in life, that's more than enough. Now there will be many people who are quick to ask, well, what's wrong with that? And my answer would be nothing at all. Just don't complain when you see rappers on television with their pants hanging off of their ass, if they are male, or half naked with a thong up their ass, if they are female. Just don't complain if most of their lyrics are disrespecting women, selling drugs, or killing other people. Just don't complain when they make black people look like savages overall. Know and understand that it is just for the money and fame. It all boils down to economics. The path of least resistance to making it out of the hood is through the rap industry. It is very easy to do, and the profits can be astronomical. Right, MC means move the crowd, absolutely. Let's be clear, the rap industry feeds a lot of people, so the resistance that one will get when attempting to uncover what may be wrong with it will be strong and fierce. Any venture that provides food, clothing, and shelter, whether legally or illegally, that is being criticized will be met with skepticism, ridicule, and contempt. I am in no way trying to shut down the rap industry or deny anyone an opportunity to feed his or her families. I am only appealing to the higher consciousness of those who have the capacity to reason beyond the financial benefits of the industry and examine the totality of the industry and its effects on this generation and future generations to come. The financial progress of a few can lead to the spiritual and cultural decline of the whole. Herein lies the heart of the dilemma, and that selective few is not limited to just the artists themselves. There are those who have worked hard to earn a degree in business, or are certified to engineer a session, or have graduated with a degree in videography, who also have to accept responsibility. These are the behind the scenes people, but their role in the progress or demise of rap is just as significant. Every time that a DJ plays a record that he or she knows is garbage, every time a videographer shoots a video that they know doesn't show us in a good light, or every time that an interview is conducted that we know should never see the light of day, we are complicit in the destruction of the culture of hip-hop for the sake of making money in the culture of rap. It's just that simple. Yet, it's the only way to survive in the industry. If a DJ works for a radio station, then the program director basically tells him what to play. After hearing the same terrible song on the radio 100 times, you somehow begin to like it or tolerate it at best. Now that same DJ who wouldn't dare play such records on his own time is forced to give the people what they have been programmed to believe is hot. The same thing goes for the video director who was instructed to direct the same video for just about every artist that the label pays him or her to shoot. You know the video. Girls barely dressed, guys pouring champagne, fly cars, nice jewelry, wads of cash, and cut. 95% of all rap videos will have all or at least a variation of these elements in them. Even though the video director may be talented and has a vision that would broaden the scope of most rap videos, they will simply do what they are paid to do in the long run. Rap allows most artists to mask their illiteracy or inability to function beyond a hood mentality, and it allows them to do so without apologizing, since in most cases they make more money than the average college graduate. Rappers, inventing or telling stories, conversational rap. I don't think I caught what was before that. No one is going to stand up for what's morally right in terms of how we portrayed or the effects that rap has had on the minds of young men and women, because making money at any cost has become the new standard of what's morally correct and what isn't. The rap industry has provided a better way of life for a lot of people, so who am I to even suggest that it is not good for us? For those of you who have the vision to see beyond the fame and fortune, you know exactly what I am talking about. Through the eyes of rap, police officers respond to us differently. Judges sentence us differently. Teachers reprimand us differently. The media portrays us differently. And even the elders of our culture treat us differently. Because of our association with rap, in most cases by default, it makes us guilty. It makes us guilty of the ways and actions portrayed by a small few in the name of making money, but under the guise of creative expression. Most of this is wrong. Most of that is wrong with rap culture. Most of that is wrong with rap culture is cloaked in these terms: creative expression and freedom of speech. This enables those who are at fault to escape liability for their actions. Every time that there is an uproar from the general public regarding the foul language, negative portrayal of women, or violence rapped about or displayed in rap videos, a rap industry frontman will appear to quell the disturbances by hiding behind freedom of speech verbiage. One of the biggest statements made by artists themselves is, "You should monitor what your children listen to because we are not responsible." This is what I call straight bullshit. Most of them know that if parents were able to truly monitor what their children watch and listen to, that most of these subpar artists would not even exist. And that is a fact. They are banking on our inability to monitor what our children are watching and listening to. Their careers literally depend on it. And that part is deep, because most of these rappers have a very young fan base. The target audience for rap is like age 13 to 26 or something like that. The target audience for most of these rappers are 13 to 26. That's the demographic that is being targeted. Where we at? Okay. Sex, drugs, and violence are a product like many other products being sold on the open market. The goal of the company selling it is to make as much money off of this product as possible. It has nothing to do with being creative or cultural or morally correct. Most of these record executives are not culturally in tune with the music that they are selling, so they never factor in whether it will have residual effects on its clients. Their goal is to satisfy their shareholders every quarter. So when we protest that there is not enough balance on the radio or not enough songs with positive messages, we miss the entire point. And that point is making money. We also like to demonize the industry by stating that they have an agenda to promote. Okay. We also like to demonize the industry by stating that they have an agenda to promote a certain negative lifestyle to our children, and that may be true. However, nothing personal. If you can understand this, then everything else will make sense. It is not their responsibility to morally put out music that is conscious, educational, cultural, and nonviolent, etc. And so this goes along with, this reminds me of, if y'all remember, when Lyor Cohen was on the Breakfast Club. That famous interview with Lyor Cohen was on the Breakfast Club, and Charlemagne asked him, they were talking about the opioid epidemic. and how the opioid epidemic is really hurting the country, is really hurting a lot of young people out there, so on and so forth. And Charlemagne asked him, well, if you know that, if you understand that, then why, sign an artist that promotes the opioid use so heavy? And Lyor Cohen's response was, well, I got a family to feed. You ask me, I think he said something like, if you ask me, I think it was whether it's morals or money, I'm going to choose money. Something to that effect. I'm paraphrasing. But y'all go back and check out that interview if you don't know what I'm talking about, when Lyor Cohen was on the Breakfast Club, and he infamously responded that way about why he would sign artists that promote drug use in their music when he knows, we're going through this opioid epidemic in the country, and how it's affecting the culture, how it's affecting our youth. And he infamously said, well, shit, it's about the paper for me. And that's exactly what the Black Dot is breaking down right here. So do you really think Pepsi is concerned about the diabetes rate of young people in America? Do you really think that the tobacco industry cares about the cancer rate skyrocketing as a result of their product? And more importantly, if you were a young executive working for one of these companies and you had a mortgage to pay, college loans to pay off, and 2 car notes every month, would you care about the moral responsibility of such things? Or would you be doing your best to ensure that these quotas were met? The executives who work for the music industry are no different. We as a community tend to take everything personal. We look at everything as a personal attack on our well-being and way of life. This is called victim consciousness. The truth of the matter is these boardrooms are filled with executives who could care less about your ethnicity, race, religion, sexual preference, or lifestyle. As long as you buy their products, they get paid. Now apply this concept to the rap industry. Why would any executive bring out a new artist or song every time you wanted to hear something new? Here is the undeniable truth. There are only 12 to 15 slots available and 1 million rappers trying to fill them. Any corporation would collapse overnight if it followed a protocol of releasing a new product every 3 months or so. KFC doesn't change its ingredients to its famous fried chicken, ever. It is their flagship product. They may grill it, barbecue it, or bake it, but the formula remains the same. So when you look at sex, violence, drugs, and even controversy as a product, you get a better understanding of how the industry is set up. Even the devil worship, Illuminati rumors that swept through the industry a few years back was about money. Conspiracy theorists created such a buzz that executives and managers saw an opportunity to capitalize off of the situation and instructed their artists to wear or display symbols that were associated with devil worship or the occult realm just to garner a reaction. As a result, certain artists became hot topics and they eventually sold more records. This only demonstrates that the industry is reactionary as well. So if conscious hip hop started creating a buzz with the masses, these record labels would find a way to put them in position to reap the benefits financially. Now, with that being said, if you have read my previous work called Hip Hop Decoded, you know that I strongly believe that there are levels to this that is far beyond the comprehension of most people's understanding with respect to the recording industry that has absolutely nothing to do with money. So my stance on mind control, occult signs and symbols, and other esoteric principles regarding music has not changed. However, this is a book about how the rap industry has become a part of the culture of urban America. This is a book about how the rap industry has been embedded deep within the psyche of millions of young urbanites that are willing to give up the pursuit of everything else for a shot at making it in the industry. Most of them view this as their only way out, and they will stop at nothing to attain this goal. The rap industry is an institution unto itself. It provides an economic base, a social base, an artistic base, a spiritual/religious base, and these are just some of the more critical components of a culture as a whole. The rap culture/industry is self-sustaining now. You can be raised within the culture, find employment within the industry, meet a companion with the same ideals, and never have to explore anything in life beyond these boundaries. So to my parents, teachers, and elders, never take for granted how powerful this rap industry and culture is. I have often heard KRS-One say, back in the day, your parents told you to get a degree just in case this rap thing doesn't work out. But now you need to learn how to rap just in case your degree doesn't work out. How crazy is that? So how do you tell a young urban mogul who rose from the bottomless pit of his community to accrue a network worth of $500 million to $1 billion that his music and message has done the urban community more harm than good, when all of the numbers and opportunities for advancement say otherwise? How do you tell a young generation who previously had no hope to earn an honest living, who can now become entrepreneurs or learn a valuable trade via editing, mixing, engineering, videography, and graphic designing, that what they are doing is wrong and immoral? How do you tell a bunch of young thugs with criminal records who can barely read and write, yet have a unique skill set that can catapult them to the top of the world, that their life is worthless? How do you tell a young woman with a beautiful body that she shouldn't exploit it to provide food, clothing, and shelter for her and her babies? Where outside of the rap industry, she has very few opportunities to survive. You don't. You simply attempt to view the situation through the eyes of the super oppressed and all of the opportunities that rap has afforded them. What other industry has provided more jobs and fulfilled more dreams for the poor? And if you cannot provide a viable option other than going to school to conform into the matrix of society to earn considerably less than what they could make in the rap industry, then there is absolutely nothing we can say to this generation, period. Even drug dealers are willing to trade in their hustle for a shot at fame and fortune. The blueprint for them to do so has already been laid out by just about every successful rapper that has come before them. Drug dealers are now selling drugs with a purpose far greater than buying fancy cars, making it rain in the club, or popping champagne. Their ultimate goal now is to save money to one day get out of the streets, go legit, and become a successful mogul. This is not just the blueprint laid out by today's rappers. It is also the blueprint of gangsters of all cultures with aspirations of making it in America. The only problem is that most rappers cannot make the transition from the streets to the corporate boardrooms because they have not been properly educated in the fields of finance, economics, and investments, etc. As a result, most of them who achieve fortune result right back to what they know best, and that's buying fancy cars, making it rain in the club, and popping champagne. However, there are a few who have cracked the code. Even though the corporate world can be just as vicious as the streets, the etiquette in which they operate by is just different. So these moguls had to change their hustle and approach. Kudos to those who were able to make the adjustment. They have become assets to the corporate world. Meanwhile, these drug dealers / moguls in training are paying very close attention to the progress of their peers. In their eyes, their hustle is now validated by the results of a few moguls who were able to pull off that feat. In their eyes, selling drugs to their own people is justified if it means they can successfully achieve their personal goals. Only in America can one's success be measured or predicted on someone else's demise. Unfortunately, we are quick to point out how drug dealers are killing their communities, but we fail to recognize that the pharmaceutical companies have set up shop on just about every corner doing the same exact thing, and they are both sanctioned by the government. Then there are your favorite celebrities who endorse soda products that have tons of sugar, which is just as addictive and harmful as illegal drugs. FDA stands for Food and Drug Administration. The only difference is that the Food and Drug Administration and pharmaceutical companies don't make rap records bragging about supplying drugs to their own communities. They just cash their checks and keep it moving. This is the stark reality of the situation. There is also a dark side to the rap industry as well, an underworld so sinister that very few live to talk about it. No, I'm not talking about the Baphomet, the Illuminati, or the satanic verbiage that has been running rampant in the industry lately. All of that has become the perfect distraction. I am talking about the underworld of organized crime. The rap industry is a multi-billion-dollar enterprise. Whenever there is that much money being made in exchange, there will be lots of drug trafficking, murder, and extortion. There is an entire subculture that operates out of the limelight, and this has been in operation long before rap was invented. The Italian mob, the Russian mob, and the Jewish mob have all claimed a stake in the music and movie industries for years. Now there is a new mob on the scene, the hood mob. They may not be as organized, but they still have the system in place to extort fake gangsters, rappers, and industry bigwigs that need protection from real criminals. This part of the subculture is usually made up of real hardened criminals with no chance of succeeding in life otherwise due to their extensive criminal record. The underworld provides millions of dollars for those bold enough to do the dirty work required to succeed, and most of them are just as ambitious as a rapper would be to make it. There is even a no-fly zone that is implemented in certain cities. That means you don't touch down in one of these cities. That means you touch down in one of these cities, you must immediately notify the hood that you are in town and pay the necessary fees to ensure a safe trip. It is important to understand just how many people the rap industry feeds and get a better understanding of why they are so willing to kill to be a part of it. The biggest feeders off of the rap industry are corporations. They sit at the top of the food pyramid. They hire young urban executives with an eye for talent to plug them into the life force of urban America. The rap industry has changed over the last 10 years or so due to the illegal downloads of music. The artists and the labels have suffered major losses, so a new revenue stream had to be created in order for the artists in particular to survive. That's where corporate America steps in. Many artists began signing endorsement deals to supplement their loss of royalties. It doesn't really matter what they are endorsing as long as they are being paid. Most of them could care less of its residual effects on the consumer. So from soda to alcohol, from clothes to cars, it is clear to see that the corporate America is in bed with urban America, and it is a very intimate relationship. Rap artists have become the ultimate conduit between the corporation and the consumers. If we trust the artists, we trust the product that they are selling. It's just that simple. If we no longer trust or are protesting against a particular artist, the advantage is with the corporation, who can shift their endorsement deal to the next artist that is urban approved. In some instances, having street credibility is a plus with corporations. It adds a sense of authenticity to the relationship. If we, the consumer, truly feel an artist is living a certain lifestyle, we are more prone to believe that he or she uses the product that they are trying to pitch to us. Yet in most cases, nothing could be further from the truth. Then there are the artists who endorse products from major corporations but do not get paid from it. Bentley doesn't have to advertise its cars because Bentley doesn't have to advertise its cars because just about every rapper on the planet will do it for them. Corporate America owns the rap industry, not the record labels. In fact, the labels are just benefactors of the relationship between its artists and the corporations. There used to be a time when artists could survive off of touring, selling merchandise, etc. This money went directly to the artists. Unfortunately, now the labels have forced them to sign these new 360 deals where the label, get a percentage of everything related to the career of that artist. And I mean everything. Since corporate America are the ones writing the checks, they are the ones calling all of the shots. This creates a major problem. The relationship between the artist and the corporation renders the rappers useless when it comes to critical issues that need to be addressed regarding social events like police brutality, discrimination, and violence. Rappers cannot speak freely for fear of losing their endorsement, so they have essentially become slaves to the corporation. This is the difference between hip-hop and rap. In the beginning, hip-hop gave a voice to the voiceless. It fought for the people, so it only had to answer to the people. The corporations own rap, so it has the final say on what its employees can address or what they must steer clear of. In this sense, rap is anti-hip-hop. The culture of rap has become the dream catcher. Once inside of its notorious web, it becomes hard for many young African-American men and women to escape. Their dreams begin and end in the pursuit of fame and fortune. The journey to reach such an elusive goal can become very taxing on the mind, body, and soul. Very few make it, and those that do are a mere shell of themselves with nothing to truly show for it besides a few material possessions, newspaper clippings, and a story to tell their grandchildren in the future. The majority of others who do not make it provide the necessary energy to create a profitable industry where everything related to the industry are for sale. Let's face it, pursuing your dreams costs money. So drum machines, keyboards, editing software, cameras, managers, photographers, and auditions fuel the economic base of the industry. It's no different than if your dream was to become a basketball player. Sneakers, basketballs, headbands, and camps eat up your finances, while the time, energy, and sacrifice required to become a part of the 1% that actually make it eats up your dream. This capitalist system is set up to feed off of and control your destiny, whether you succeed or not. As a result of this process, I have witnessed many artists devote their entire being to the exhausting chase of a record deal under the guise that their music will change the landscape of the industry. And it doesn't matter if they are conscious rappers or hardcore gangster rappers. The notion is the same. I have seen artists abandon their children, wives, jobs, and lifestyle over a 30-year period with nothing to show for it but the new demo in their pocket that is sure to be the one that gets them signed this time around. A 40-year-old rapper with a demo or a mixtape in his pocket who is behind on his child support payments, living off of the means of women that they can take advantage of, while standing on the corner smoking weed all day, is pathetic. Yeah, I said it. And even though they know in their heart of hearts that the rap industry is poison, they are now trapped in the dream catcher's web because they have not learned a skill beyond rap in any capacity. Now there is a new generation of 12-year-olds who are about to repeat the same cycle. From an urban standpoint, it has become very frustrating to watch an entire movement of people pigeonhole their dreams into rap or rap-related industries, which is heavily overpopulated. Meanwhile, the opportunities for growth in the fields of science, engineering, architecture, and business are understaffed because not enough people are qualified to fill these positions. And the urban community's contribution to these fields are almost non-existent. Yet these are the fields that literally change the world. But we continue to reduce ourselves to entertaining the world. To suggest that this is all that we are great at negates our great history of being mathematicians, scientists, and builders who gave the current world its foundation to stand on. Yes, the rap industry is a multi-billion-dollar industry these days, but the culture vultures are the ones who have benefited the most. When all of the smoke is clear, we receive a mere fraction of the proceeds generated from the very talent that we and only we possess. So just as all of the other cultures or subcultures that I have previously explained in this chapter, the underlying motive is the same: economics. However, this faction doesn't have anything to do with an outside ethnic group or race of people. It is based on a capitalist group. The music industry is a unique one in the sense that it's strictly built on the talent of artists, yet the artists receive the least amount of dividends for their service. However, this is not a how-to book about the rap industry or how to make it in the music business. Yet the rap industry is one of many components that make up urban culture as a whole. In order to understand today's youth, we must at least try to understand their mindset and approach to making it out of the hood and the realistic options they have for accomplishing that goal. Where those outside of the urban community see violence, sex, drugs, misogyny, and homophobia, and the likes, those within the urban community see opportunity, wealth, fame, and a very bright future. And they are both correct. So perspective is everything in this case. One last point that I feel needs to be made when talking about the culture of the rap industry. It is a dying industry. World music is on the rise and will soon take over the industry as the leading moneymaker. This is critical because world music consists of all the genres of music with a universal 4x4 beat. It can be a little hip hop, a little bit of R&B, a little bit of rock music, a little bit of heavy metal, etc. Rap has been gradually minimized over the last 5 years or so. Most of the lyrics of the world music are about love, partying, and having a great time, as opposed to the lyrics of current rap songs, which continue to focus on sex, drugs, and gunplay. It's almost like placing a dirty glass next to a clean one. Just as the title states, world music is worldwide. And since music in general is universal, one can only wonder if this new world music could become the precursor for a one world religion or a one world government. Those who have dedicated their lives to rap as opposed to the culture of hip hop may be finished in the next couple of years. This world music also has the potential to redefine the word urban. It may now extend beyond the boundaries of just the city lines. It may truly be more of a lifestyle no matter where you live or what your race, color, or creed is. Now let's move on. Now that we have meticulously deciphered a vast amount of information regarding the residual effects of urban culture, let's not lose sight of what gave birth to this current cultural paradigm in the first place: hip-hop. When the true history of this generation is written, it will begin and end with the emergence of hip-hop, the art form, not rap, which is the commercialization, bastardized version of it, not twerking, which is the sexualized, perverted aspect of it, not drug selling and violence, which is the over-glamorized portion of it, but the art form itself. And make no mistake about it, hip-hop is an art form. It's made up of all the characteristics of every other art form, just urbanized. So all of the naysayers who refuse to see it as a legitimate art form, it really doesn't matter what you think personally, because millions around the world do see it as an art form and practice it as such every day. It has become their religion. It has become their way of life. It has become their culture. Hip-hop is the language of the commoners, and if you do not speak their language, then you are an alien to their cause, to their struggle, and to their well-being. Yet in order for hip-hop to really flourish, the artistic value of it must be restored, because the way to ascension from the earthly realm is through art. Even most religious buffs would have to agree that it is through praising the Most High, using song, dance, and reciting spiritual passages, sacred scriptures, and mythological stories that enhance their religious experiences. And this ultimately brings them closer to the Most High. So let us always respect and honor the true essence of art. Shout out to my brother, the Black Dot. Again, this is a must-have. It is a must-read. For those of y'all who are just tuning in, the name of the book is Urban Culture Decoded. It is a critical analysis into the physical, mental, and spiritual state of a new generation, written by the Black Dot. If y'all not familiar with the Black Dot, make sure y'all follow him. He's here on Instagram as the Black Dot. I don't know, there might be an underscore in there somewhere. But also, him and his son have the #1 father and son podcast on YouTube called Urban X TV. Or is it Urban X NYC? I think it's Urban X TV on YouTube. Make sure y'all subscribe to their channel. Great channel, great content. My brother Black Dot, y'all got to get this book, man. It's available everywhere. Wherever you get books from, you can buy this book. So make sure y'all get this book right here, Urban Culture Decoded. He also has Urban Hip Hop Decoded. He also has Hip Hop Decoded, and I think a few other books out there. And Malcolm has a book out there as well. I forgot the name of Malcolm's book. I think it's Urban something too. I forgot the name of Malcolm's book. But make sure that y'all tap in with them at the end of the day. And so I'm about to get out of here, man. You know, I just got finished doing my, I think I did 4 miles this morning. And I just wanted to stop along the way to read that chapter to y'all, because I've been thinking about it a lot ever since, you know, this whole battle between Drake and Kendrick took place, and some of the commentary that has come from that. It made me think about this book, and it made me think about that chapter in particular. So I just wanted to come on here and share that with y'all. I appreciate y'all for tuning in with me this morning. I hope y'all have a great rest of your day and the rest of your week, and continue to be productive. And I will see y'all on the other side, man. Peace and black love.